What's goody? What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today is the day that we officially get to finish our fuel system in this car. I know I needed a couple things to finish the fuel system, but now I have everything to finish the fuel system and get it all buttoned up. So let's pop the trunk. Like I said, we're gonna go with the spacers. We're gonna do those for the fuel cell and cut all these hoses and get all the fittings on these hoses. Right now I'm just trying to plan out how to do everything. Right now I got to drill holes for this fuel cell so we can have it standing up on those spacers, put like two 1-inch spacers, and it should be good. Later on we'll probably get the bar welded and everything like I wanted to do originally, but right now we're just gonna do the spacers. This is the 8AN hose that comes for the feed, and that's the I think this is 4AN for the return. No, 6AN for the return. So let's get this all ready to go. Got to jack up the rear, so y'all know how that go. All right, so before we can even start this fuel cell or fuel line or fuel system, before we can start the fuel system, I have this one fitting that goes right here to hold the line here. I'm gonna put that in so that way we'll be able to button up the feed line and be able to actually tug it to get it to how we need it. Like I said, we got to cut this line here for our E85 sensor. I got fittings and all that for that as well. They're around here somewhere. I'll find everything, but right now I'm gonna grab this fitting and install that so we can get that fuel line put on. All right, so I got the fitting in, got the hose on. This is the feed. What I did is I'm angled it down so it won't touch our throttle body at all when it's pulling back. So it's angled down. There's enough clearance right there. It's all good to go. So that's good. And what we do now is we get our crawler, we get underneath the car, we pull on the hose to make sure everything else is tight and ready to go to get cut, because there's only one chance to cut this hose. This is a PTFE line, so you mess up the cut, you're basically done. So you have to replace the whole thing or use whatever you got, but I don't have any more hose, so we're gonna make sure this is all pulled, ready to go. I'll mount that bracket up right there, mount it up so it's holding it, and I'm gonna get some more brackets that we can screw into the body to make sure it's all good to go. But for right now, let's tug on this hose. All right, so I'm getting the stock little plastic tray in here. This one in the front, so the piece of it broke right here and right there. The front's not holding up. I might put a screw into it to try to hold it up there, or I might just get rid of it. Really feel like just getting rid of it. It's under the fucking the subframe, so we'll see. I might just yank it out and get rid of it because it's not sticking up like I need it to do because it broke. But for right now, we can start our cuts where we need our cuts. I need a cut here, like right here, and I need to drill in the fuel pump to the side of the bed. I need to pull these wires back through the car to try to run them through the trunk and wire in the pump, but we'll do that at the end. Right now, let's handle the cuts. Let's go grab our hose cutting tool that Stacy let me borrow so we can get most of this stuff done. Before we start our first cut, I did want to show y'all these. We got some quick connects for the E85 sensor. Makes it easy to remove it and everything. This sensor is done. I need to buy another one, but these quick connects are pretty dope if you look at them. That's the first thing we're doing is putting the E85 sensor on. That's why I have to cut the 4AN or 6AN in the front to install that for the return. All right, before I cut, I made sure to measure out where I want my E85 sensor to go. The tool that we're using to cut these hoses today is this weird pair of little slicers. I don't know what these are called, but they're like hose cutters. So we're gonna use these. We're gonna chop right here where we need the 85 sensor to go, and then we're gonna put the fittings on, which is just two PTFE straights We're gonna slap them on there and then screw in our E85 sensor because it has these little adapter quick connects, and that will be installed. I'm just gonna install that one just for now until I can get the one that we need. I still haven't ordered it. I've been lacking. I'm probably gonna order that tonight. But let me get started cutting that and getting that all ready. All right, the key with this tool is to try to cut it fast. That way you get a clean cut like that. And I'll teach you how to install these PTFE straight. So let's get this installed. All right, these things are pretty simple. So what you want to do is first before you do anything, you want to take off this part right here. You want to slide this on, because you know how many times I forgot to put this on. So you'll slide this one on, this bad boy on first. That's first. Get that on there. I think it's getting caught on this little nylon. See if we can get it on there. Fighting me. This nylon's pretty loose. Let me cut all this loose strands real quick. All right, so see if we can get it on now. Still can't get it on, but all right, this is fine. So what you want to do with this? I want to get like a pick or a flathead. I normally use a flathead. Let me get a flathead. All right, so get the skinniest flathead you got. And what you want to do is you want to open up the plastic inside first. I just try to get it to open up and look normal as possible. And then I pull back the metal, because we need this collar to slide over the plastic. So I'm just gonna smooth this out real quick. Just like so. You'll take the silver collar, you'll squeeze it in between the metal and the plastic. And then the plastic should wrap. There's a lip on the inside where you can smooth the plastic down into the lip. That way it's not all in your way. And I'm trying to make sure it's all the way down. Be careful, because you will mess your fingers up from this metal, the spiky metal. But looks pretty good right there. Let's get some grease for the fitting. All right, so I'm out of grease, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of oil. Put it around the little nipple of the thing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to slide that bad boy in there, like so. If you're getting butted up, if you feel like you're getting butted up, make sure to get your flathead and push the side that's butting you up down. I want to make sure this thing goes smooth, doesn't bud or anything, because it will leak if you do. So just like that, boom. So now what you do is you pull this bad boy all the way up and you screw her down, just like so. I'm probably gonna cut all this out because it's just gonna keep unwrapping. So I'll probably just take all this off until I can get to here, I guess. But so far, that's how you install these things. All right, so I know I said I was gonna cut them off, but I just end up burning them with the lighter. And this is supposed to go here, just like so. Our E85 sensor will be installed once I tighten this down. Now we have to do this side, get this one installed for this side, and the front will be completely done. So in the midst of trying to put my fuel rail on, I lost the middle spacer that goes under there. I don't know where it went, man. It dropped and it didn't hit the floor. So I just figured, forget it. I'm just gonna try to work on the fuel system a little bit. Right now, we're just trying to button up everything on the bottom end. Even though I said I was gonna do the fuel system, I just want to get everything on the bottom end buttoned up before I put the car back down. So I'm putting the transfer case on. Then I'm also doing a bunch of other little things like tightening up the axle bracket that held the axle on, but let's get that in real quick. Alright, so we got the transfer case all on the car. Don't forget to grab this bracket when you go and get your transfer case. Never forget this bracket. Most people don't even use this bracket, but I'm gonna use it. Adds a little bit more strength. I do need one bolt to go here. I put a stud here. I'm not gonna utilize that stud. I'm just gonna utilize a bolt here and one stud here. But the stud I'm gonna use, I just had it. Oh, here it is. Use one of the old, I dropped it again. Use one of the studs I had for the intake that I didn't use. So I'm gonna put this one right here. If I can stop dropping it. And we'll put it right here. And then we're gonna put one bolt right here, one long bolt. We just gotta figure out how long it is in the thread of this stud. Don't know if this really has a torque spec, but I just tighten them down as tight as I can get them. Not super tight to the point where it breaks something, but I'm good at hand torquing stuff. So now we have our transfer case in. Now we have to just wait for our parts to come in for our drive shaft, because I did lose the bolts for the drive shaft to put it together. So kind of waiting on that. Now let's get the fuel system done. Like I was saying, I just wanted to come on here and tidy up some stuff. Get up. Yeah, so let's get the fuel system officially done. Let's get the rest of it done before this sun comes in here and starts cooking me. All right, so we got the return hose all ready to go. The 85 sensor is plugged on, so the whole return hose is done. Now we have to make the supply hose. So what we have to do is we have to cut it from under the car, install one fuel filter in the front, pump, then another fuel filter in the back. So we got to get that, and then we have to mount it right there on the side of the trunk. That's where I'm going to mount it, and then have it come right out this little exit hole that I made. So you're trying to figure that out, figure how to do that. So let me lay everything out and try to see how we're gonna do that. All right, so the fuel filters I went with was these Evil Energy 100 micron fuel filters. I got two of them, one to go in front of the pump and one to go in the back of the pump. And then the pump I'm running is the AEM, I think it's the 450. I believe it's the 450. 400 actually. So that's the 400. If that's not enough fuel, we'll get something else. But right now, we just need the car running. So let's get this all laid out. Like I said, I need these unions here, those unions. Pump out another union in there. Off to the side. All the fittings for that pump. Toss them to the side. And actually, we could take this to the table. So I was already going to go with this idea. I just don't know how everything's going to fit. So I gotta see where we need to cut. I need to assemble this fuel filter here. They have arrows on them, as you can see, which way to point them. It's pretty legit. I use these on the same ones on the Camaro as well. We need 8 AN. That's 10 AN. That's 6. This is 8. Then our second one, we're probably gonna put over here somewhere. Get like hose to run here to here. That way it's in front. But I don't want it unioned off the pump because that's like low-key weird. So don't want it union off the pump. So what I'm gonna do, tighten these up. Boom. Boom. So that's how that's gonna sit. Boom. Just like that. Let's go test fit this under the car so we can see how everything goes. This is our 90 that's gonna come off. This 90 is gonna come off the fuel cell to hose to another 90 straight into here. Boom. If we can get it like that, might have to do some adjusting, but we get it to go straight into here. Boom. That'll be one. Our whole one backside will be set up. Then what we have to just do is these two straights from here to here, and I think I'm missing one straight, so I might have to go buy one, but it's here to here will be one straight, and then we'll run the hose all the way from this fuel filter all the way to the front. So what I'm hoping for, is to have the pump somewhat like this, mounted to the bracket here. Put a fuel filter under there somewhere, and then have this all just mounted here, just like that, and have the 90 come straight out of the hole, straight into the fuel filter. Probably right there, straight into the fuel filter, come straight into the pump. The pump's gonna press it into another filter that's gonna be located up there. I feel like that should be good. So let's get the cutting, get some more stuff cut, and then we can install this in here. At first we gotta drill, actually. We gotta drill holes to get this mounted up here. So let me get the bracket and let's mount it up. All right, so I'm prepping the fuel filter so we can test to see how much we have to cut for that. I did end up finding the 45. I forgot it's a 45 that's good, that goes on the front here. So like right here be a 45. Let me lay all this out. So basically the way that it's gonna be laid out, we have two 90s. We have one 90 for the fuel cell. We have another 90 that goes from the fuel cell over to the fuel filter. Boom, and then it goes straight. And then we have a 45 here. Boom. Let me get this fuel filter up. We have a 45 there. And then we have a straight that's gonna come straight into this fuel filter here. And then another straight that's gonna lay it all the way up to the fuel rail. So, hey, look at that car, man. Looks nice. But let's figure this out real quick so we can cut this and get this all ready to go. All right, so my fuel filter is different. It has I have a bracket that I'll show you that mounts it to the car. So I'm gonna place it here. We're gonna chop this hose over here somewhere, like right over here somewhere, and then we're gonna get that bracket. And we're gonna not welds, but we're gonna get two screws for it and bolt and drill out and bolt it straight here. That way the rest of the hose, you know, it can just come this way naturally. I don't have to add no like punctures through the body. So let me see where I want to cut it and cut it off, and then I'll show you the end result. Okay, so this is the cut that I made, that I eyeballed, where our bracket's gonna mount right here. The fuel filter's gonna go through the bracket, so they'll hold that up, and then it's gonna come straight through here, straight to the pump. So well, hopefully this measurement is right. You know, like I said, I eyeballed it. Let's get all this done, get all the stuff slid onto it, and then we'll be able to figure out what else we need to do. All right, so I got the line cut. I didn't put the fuel filter up yet. I wanted to grab this bracket to show you this bracket that we got. So this bracket mounts up to the body of the car. The fuel filter basically goes in the middle of it. It's like aluminum. So what we're gonna do, oh, it's starting to rain. No, don't rain. Jesus, rain, go away. Come again another day. All right, so let's get under here. So what I wanna do is I wanna mount this bracket right here. See if we can get it right here. Boom. mount this bracket right here with a couple of screws and lock washers and stuff, and then we'll get our filter right through the middle of this. Like I said, I got this thing exactly where I want it. Oh. Let me put this on real quick. One hand. Come on now. Alright, so yeah, I kind of got this thing exactly where I want it. So it's gonna sit here just like that. Mounted to that bracket, like I was saying. It'd probably be like, sit back here somewhere. Alright, so my camera died right in the middle of me talking, y'all. And of course the rain will start to come. So I'm trying to move stuff to make sure stuff isn't getting wet. Unfortunately, the car is right near the edge and the rain is coming in from that direction. So a lot of this is about to get wet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close up shop here and then I'm gonna head out, and then we'll probably in the next video get the fuel system done. For now, this will just be an update video, man. That kind of sucks. The rain wants to try to rain on our parade. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back. So, good morning. So, I know we didn't finish the fuel system, so we're gonna finish that today. But I did get a couple things in the mail. Let me show y'all what we got. So we got a new battery bracket for our battery. We'll try to get that to fit. And then we have a bunch of like brake lines so we can install our hydro handbrake. And then we got our K-Tune knob as well. So we got our K-Tune knob from K-Tune. We did get our U washers and bolts. So we'll be putting the drive shaft together today too. So let's head over there and let's get that knocked out. I know we didn't finish it last time, but I wanted to finish it and then put it all together in one video. So let's head out. All right, so where we left off last is we cut the line for the fuel filter up there. Next, we have to mount the whole pump and everything on the side of the trunk here and get everything else established to come from here into the hole. That should be fairly easy. Just got a couple more things I gotta cut and out and stuff like that. We got our official date for tune is on October 14th. So that means that everything else that we need for this car needs to get put on or done before that date. I kind of want to get finished with it way before then because we still, like I said, we need a wheel alignment. So I have to take the Keefs so he can wheel align the car for me. So that needs to be done as well. So let's grab all our stuff that we need to get this car officially done and start to knock out stuff. All right, so we got this one mounted up. Just got to tighten up everything like the bolts and all that. But this one's actually up here now. I got to tighten this one up and it's pretty sturdy. It's in there. So what I did is I flipped the bolts around so the nuts are at the bottom so that way it ain't jabbing into my seat. So we're gonna try to figure out how to mount our pump onto the side of the trunk. So this is our 450 pump, and where I want it to be, I want it to be like this. So right when the 90 pops out of the hole, it screws right in. That's where I want it to be. So we're gonna try to see if we can mount this pump up. I have this little bracket that you can put like a hose clamp on. So I'm gonna try to get this mounted like right here. And then we're gonna get the other mount mounted like right there. So let me try to get some holes drilled for this so I can show you what it looks like. All right, so we got our little bracket up there. Got our holes drilled so we can put our spacers and our bolts through here. So everything should be held up pretty good. I just don't have a clamp. I didn't grab a clamp for this, but we can start cutting our line that can go from here to there and then from here to the tank. So let me get this all situated and then we'll start to cut our line. All right, so I built my hose to go from the tank here, from the tank here to the pump, wherever the pump just went. Oh, it's on the table over there. I built my hose to do that. One thing I might have to go get is a clamp so we can mount up our fuel pump, because if I don't go get that clamp, we won't be able to measure out how much hose we need to cut. So I'm gonna run over to AutoZone around the corner and try to go buy a hose clamp, or not a hose clamp, but like a, I forgot what they're calling, but you'll see when I go grab it. All right, so this is what I was talking about. Just little hose clamps. Just buy some of these just to throw around the pump, so that way we can mount it up in the little bracket there. And then let's get this all mounted up and cut our final hose to get this done and situated. All right, so we got our fuel filter and our pump added to the car. And now what we have to do is put on our fittings and measure out how much hose we need to go from here over to there, where the other fuel fitting is, fuel filter is, and then we'll be done with the fuel system. But right now, let me go grab the hose and the fittings, and we can start trying to get that all situated. This is the last little bit of hose that I gotta do. It's the last hose to complete the fuel system for the car. What I did is I made a little adjustment, made the fuel pump a little higher, because it originally was here, it was coming like straight, but I realized I forgot about the axles do sit right there, so I made it a little higher. So what it's going to do, the hose is going to wrap around this way, and it's going to go up, coming straight down into the pump. That way it's more out the way, we ain't got to worry about it. And then we do have to just finish this one hose, like I was saying, with a 45 and a straight. You'll see why the 45 is important. Let me get done. Let me put this all together. Just like that, we got our last hose for our fuel system. Let's install it. Oh. So remember I was telling you about this 45. The reason that this is important is because it's going to 45 right off of this fuel filter, making it go up. So let me try to see if I can install this real quick. So it's gonna come this way. Just like this. Camera. Alright, get that on there, come on. 45 like that. Over here, it's gonna come straight. So. Alright, so those aren't tight all the way on, but as you can see, it's gonna 45 like this off the fuel pump, going up, and then it's gonna come this way straight into the fuel pump. I mean, fuel filter into the fuel pump. So get that tightened up, and then the axles will be able to sit right here, and it won't bother it at all. So let me get this all tightened up, get everything tightened up, so we can start, you know, fixing our fuel system. All right, as you can see, we got the fuel system all done. The next project is trying to get, let me move this. I was trying to fit this, make sure it works. The next project is trying to get our banjo fittings for our wheel wood, so we can install our brake lines, so we can have a hand hydro brake for when we stage. I got the back one. They sent me a kit that's supposed to be for the wheel wood, but the front one is different size. So we have this adapter piece. Let me get it out of my pocket. So we have this adapter piece. Where is it? Here. So we got to find a banjo fitting that can fit this adapter piece, because it's MPT. So we have to find a banjo fitting that can fit in there, and we'll be able to run our lines. I have all the lines and everything. I just need the kit to make like an inverted bubble flare and stuff like that. We currently can't use this, so if anybody needs a reservoir for e-brake, let me know. Not even just a hydro handbrake, it go on the regular e-brake and inside the car. So if you need one, let me know. I have one. I've lost the packaging, so I can't return it, so it'll be sitting here until then. But other than that, I just wanted to get that fuel system all done. We got until the 14th to go get the car tuned, and then before that we have to take it to Keith and Josh so they can do their work. So I got to take it to Josh so he can weld in the rear diff, and then I have to take it to Keith so he can give it a wheel alignment. So I'm about to be cranking it out, man, because like we still got to get the diff and the axles all in, all the oil and stuff in. I still have to raise the front of the car. So I'll catch y'all in the next video, man, till we get some more stuff in the mail. So catch y'all. Peace. I know I ended the video, but trying to get this bad boy in for y'all so we can at least be one step further. That's why I ain't left yet, but trying to get this in.